Democrats have forced the House of Representatives to adjourn early by starting and refusing to end a sit-in protesting the Republican leadership's refusal to allow votes on gun safety legislation. Democrats started the sit-in yesterday morning to try to get votes on two amendments, relatively uncontroversial. Number one, keep people on the no-fly list from legally buying guns. And number two, expand background checks. The second, even less controversial than the first. Here are Democrats shutting down Paul Ryan on the floor of the House of Representatives.
Pursuant to the order of the House of June 8, 2016, the unfinished business is further consideration of the veto message of the President on House Joint Resolution 88. The clerk will report the title of the joint resolution.
So C-SPAN broadcasts from the floor of the House of Representatives, but House leadership controls the cameras. And at a certain point, Paul Ryan and fellow House leadership shut the whole thing down. People lost it on C-SPAN. And did I say CNN before? I meant C-SPAN if I said CNN. C-SPAN broadcast from the floor of the House. And people said, C-SPAN, what are you doing? Why are you buying into the Republican plan to not let anybody see what's going on? And C-SPAN had to remind people, hey, we are broadcasting here, but it's the House leadership that controls the cameras. But fortunately, Democratic Congressman Beto O'Rourke started streaming the sit-in live on Facebook, and C-SPAN was able to pick up that feed. So what the obvious important question here is, protest, sit-in, chaos, an all-nighter. Is this going to achieve anything? Unclear, but not so far. Nancy Pelosi says there are plans for more things this week. Democrats are pledging not to give up, but I just don't know, Lewis. This isn't really a critique of Democrats. I get the desperation. Sensible, basic gun safety ideas that have no chance because the Republican Party is bought and sold by the NRA and other gun lobbies. I totally get it. Then you've got the gun fetishists, barely any understanding of the Second Amendment. They think it just means do whatever you want anytime with guns. So I understand that, but I am not hugely optimistic that we are going to see any major change to gun safety laws.
No, but you have to try. You have to do something. And so this is something, right? You get in there, you make a stink, and I shouldn't say make a stink. I mean, I support this, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, but it's I applaud the effort. Rachel?
You optimistic, Rachel?
A little bit more so in recent years, because I feel like what's been happening on a state level is somewhat encouraging. So I think any measures that are broader than that is at least somewhat exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with the state stuff is, as we've talked about, you have this insane patchwork of laws. And as we know, when one state does something with gun laws, the gun fetishists say it didn't really do that much. Well, no. I mean, what does it matter what Chicago does with gun laws when you drive 40 minutes into Indiana and do whatever the hell you want with guns? So yeah, I mean, obviously it's encouraging that at least someone is able to do something, Lewis. But when you have a system the way we have, states' rights we hear about all the time, it's hard to have it make that big of an impact.
Yeah, and I mean, states are, whatever they're doing, some states are doing good things, some states are doing nothing. But does the NRA have just as much of a stranglehold on state legislatures as they do federal?
They certainly try to, but you know, sometimes the amount of money at stake at the state level is less, although less money at the state level can still have the same impact, right? If you're in a lower position, less money has the same impact. It's disturbing, and I just wish I was more optimistic about it. I've talked about how people of all ages, but particularly millennials, are owning cars less and participating more in the sharing economy. And one of the more popular options is Zipcar, which gets you a car when you want it, when you need it. They offer all sorts of cars, SUVs, hybrids, whatever you need. It includes insurance and it includes gas. You just pay for the time that you actually use the car. And you can reserve the car online, from your smartphone, over the phone. Then you unlock it with your Zip card. Each car share member reduces their personal CO2 emissions by between 1,100 and 1,600 pounds per year. For our audience, Zipcar is offering $25 of free driving credit if you sign up at joinzipcar.com/David. Support our show, reduce your carbon emissions and your spending on cars. Sign up at joinzipcar.com/David.